God wants you to pray like this, the smart prayer. Have you ever started a prayer and felt like you're just mumbling words and you're just repeating yourself over and over again? Or have you started praying and felt like you're treating God like a genie? You feel like you're constantly asking God for things, or you feel like you're constantly mumbling things. This was me not too long ago. I got in the habit of constantly just mumbling words from my mouth, feeling like, oh, it's time to pray. So I just get up in the morning, I pray, and in the evening I pray and I sleep. And I remember one day I was downstairs. Right after praying, I decided to meditate. And during my meditation, I just got this strong message. And the message was this. The message was I should stop praying the prayers I was praying and I should start praying smart prayers. And I didn't know what it meant when I heard a voice say, start praying smart prayers. So I decided to start to write. What is a smart prayer? And God is very interesting. Once you decide that you are going to seek him, and once you decide that you are going to follow whatever leading he's giving you, he gives you more. So he gave me an acronym to pray. And since then, it's improved my prayer life. I no longer mumble jumble words all around. I no longer repeat myself. I no longer treat God like a genie. I've gotten more clarity, peace of mind. So if you've been struggling to pray, this is a cue for you to be able to pray better, and we can get better results and a better relationship with God. If you're wondering what a smart prayer is, let me show you. God wants you to pray like this, the smart prayer. So the first step in the smart prayer is spirit. Strengthen your faith and your inner peace. Rather than just mumbling words from your mouth or feeling like you have to treat God like a genie, decide that you're going to use this opportunity to strengthen your faith and your inner peace. Prayer is just not a time for us to sit and tell God all our problems and request things from him. We need to build our spiritual wellness and build a better relationship with God. The Bible verse John 4:24 says that God is spirit and whoever worship him should worship him in spirit. What does it mean? God desires for us to have a spiritual relationship with him than any other thing. Before you start your prayer, always tell God, how does he want you to start the prayer? How does he want to relate with you? How does he want to build your inner being or your spiritual being? Because if we have inner peace and we strengthen our faith in God, our prayer life is going to get better. It's not going to be like a request, like a genie, God, do this for me and do that for me. It's going to be more spiritual. It's going to be more deep. We're going to be more intentional. We're going to be listening to that small inner voice when he speaks to us, that spiritual guidance that we need in our life and the spiritual growth we need in our life. We need to pray to God that he helps for us to develop our spirits, because God wants us to be able to build our spirit up and he wants us to grow spiritually. 2, mind. Cultivate wisdom and clarity. It's very difficult to pray clearly when your mind is cluttered. So make it a point to just cultivate your clarity on you being clear-minded, because if you are not cultivating wisdom and clarity, you realize that your thoughts will constantly be going back and forth. So I want you to be able to cultivate your wisdom. Start doing some research, start reading the word, start reading the Bible, and start also reading books and other things to help you cultivate your wisdom and your clarity. Because once you have clarity and wisdom, you'll be able to have a clear mind to think more clearly. It's very challenging to tell anybody to pray when they have so much on their mind. So if you can, even do a brain dump. Sit there, write down all the things that are on your mind. Journaling is a great way to do this. And if you like to journal, I encourage you to get my program for Success Planner. It's available on Amazon. But I use this in the mornings when I wake up and sometimes when I'm going to bed to just sit down and write some of the things that are on my mind. Because once you take the thoughts that you have on your mind, especially challenging thoughts, and you put it on paper, the weight of it is not as heavy than when it was in your head. Your head is not that big, so it can't contain a lot. But if you have pages and pages of stuff that you can write these things out and you can start looking at them, it starts to put you in a position for you to start saying, this is the path for me to solve it. So cultivate wisdom and clarity to help you have better prayers. Next, ability. Sharpen your skills and talents. It's very challenging to say you want to do certain things in life and you are praying to God to help you whilst you're not doing anything to help yourself. Take the step on what can I do as an individual to make my life better by sharpening my skills and talents. God gave each of us talents and gifts. And our work over here, besides having skills that we have developed in the marketplace or the workplace, we want to also nurture the gifts and skills God has given us. Everybody was given something. There's no human being that was ever created that has just showed up over here with nothing. The thing is, most people have not discovered their thing yet, but it doesn't mean you don't have it. Your work is to put yourself in a position to figure this out. So my recommendation under ability is sharpen your skills and talents. Do your part of putting in the work and putting in the hours and the reps to be able to make yourself a better version of yourself. Once your abilities get better, you put yourself in a better position. It's very frustrating if we are constantly asking God for stuff and we are not doing anything to better our abilities and we are not doing anything to sharpen our skills. So decide that besides praying, besides constantly going to God to say, do this for me, do that for me, every month, every quarter, every year, ask yourself, what are the small and major things you can do to improve your abilities? Whatever abilities God has given you, decide that you are going to take steps to sharpen it and to improve it and make it better so that you are not at the same spot that you are. It is futile to be praying for things without you actually doing anything to improve yourself. We are co-partners with God. So besides praying, we need to take steps to improve ourselves and improve our lives. Next, relationships. Nurture meaningful relationships. We need to be able to nurture the right connections in order to move our life forward. Change that you are looking for, the change you are praying for, is not going to fall from the sky. It's going to come from someone. So our work is to build the right connections with the right people. How do you find the right people? Here's an exercise I encourage. Write down all the people that you know and ask yourself, is this person someone who elevates your spirit or adds value to your life, or is somebody that constantly is draining or taking from you? Relationships are super important, and the right relationships is the secret source to growth. If you are praying to God to make changes in your life, don't be the type of person that you are constantly reaching out to people to tell them, what can you do for me? How can you help me? Or God says you should do this for me, or God says you should get me a job, or God says you should do this contract with me. No. Nurture the relationship, because when you go out of your way to add value to other people's life, most often people notice and they start to see, what can I do or how can I collaborate with this person to also add some value to this person's life? Don't do it with the intention of what can you get in return. Do it with the mindset of you are building and nurturing the right relationships so that you can build meaningful connections in your life. Your life is just one connection away. One person can completely change your life. Whether it's a contract, a job connection, an assignment, a position you're looking for, we're just one person away from this. And our goal is the people God has put in our sphere, the right people. We should nurture relationships with them, and we should seek out meaningful connections with people that can help us propel our growth. Toughness. Build resilience to overcome challenges. Most often, people pray to God for all these different things that they want in their life. But they don't realize that the more you grow, the more challenges that you might face, because every level of growth comes with its own set of challenges. So your job, besides you praying to God for all these different things, also pray to God for toughness. Because once you are growing, understand that it's not everybody who's going to be happy for you. Some people will be upset that why did you get that contract? Why did you get that opportunity and they didn't get it? Or you might even be in a group of friends and certain people feel like this person is going forward and leaving me behind. So whatever it is, pray to God for toughness, the ability to be tough, to be able to resist certain challenges that will come with this growth that you are asking for Him. You cannot experience growth without also experiencing some form of opposing force or opposing challenges in your life. Pray to Him for toughness, for you to be tough, for you to be able to navigate things with the right mindset and the right strength and the right wisdom so you can withstand any storms that rises against you. You as a person, you as an individual, understand that once you have growth and once God blesses you and once you get to a different level, challenges are inevitable. They would happen. It's just a matter of time. You want to pray to God for Him to make you tough, for you to be able to go through the things that you're going through and not lose hope and not lose faith and still keep your eye on Him. Because once you pray to God for all these things, spirit, mind, ability, relationships, and toughness, now you have built something called the SMART prayer. And this is not the regular prayer that most people have been taught to treat God like a genie. This is a much better way to pray. If you're in the mindset of you don't know how to pray or you've been struggling to pray recently, like I was, use the SMART prayer framework to help you have better prayers and a better relationship with God. And guys, this is not something I believe I came up with myself. I believe God gave it to me, and He gave it to me to share with other people who are also struggling to pray. So if you forget how to pray or you find yourself going in circles trying to pray, just use the SMART prayer framework. Refer to this video, like it and save it so that you can return to it anytime you're struggling to pray. Lesson from today. The right prayers don't just ask for change, they prepare you for it. To help you remember what you just learned, comment SMART in the comment box. And if you can, write out each word from the acronym SMART to help you remember what you just learned. My name is Kimbwari. If you enjoyed this video, click here to watch my next video.